On today's episode of Wrong Side, we get Tori Lanzone into the studio to talk about graduation, moving home, and what it's going to be like moving forward outside of college graduation. An NBA playoff update. Joey has officially moved in, as you can see with his background, and our world famous Outside the Line, along with our clutch moment of the week. Let's roll.
Welcome back, guys. Episode 9. As you can see, I got a new background going on. I did it. I moved to my apartment just south of Wrigleyville. Big week for me, big weekend overall, too. Shout out my parents, shout out my roommate Kyle and his parents for all the help moving. It was a pretty smooth process overall. Moving is never fun. Maddie came later on, too, and she helped me build my bed frame. Always great to battle through adversity with your significant other. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I had a great weekend, a great week, and it happened. So that's what I wanted to start off with. I am loving life right now, and yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's go. New apartment. Looks like you kind of need some stuff on your wall. Still a little bare.
Yeah.
Maybe a
hmm
flag, maybe some art, something like that. What was
I
what
left
was
the
the schedule
Saturdays are
like?
for the boys flag. I left the Saturdays are for
That's
the boys flag at home, so
that's for
I
the
definitely need
best.
some more
That's for the
art. Yeah, that's
best.
probably for
That's
the
for the
best.
best.
The
What was
schedule.
Thursday like? Were you a drill sergeant? How did it go? How was everybody? Did everybody say, "I want to get away from Joey" after a couple hours? What was it like inside the Zolniak household?
It was a well-oiled machine. I did a lot of work early in the week, so I basically had to wake up and didn't have much extra to everything was already packed. Just had to pick up the truck and load it up. My dad actually had to work in the morning, so him and I ran out real quick, picked up the moving truck, dropped him off. I ran over with the truck. Love driving big trucks. To my roommate's house, picked up his stuff, loaded it with him and his parents, loaded my stuff, had a quick little bite to eat. And then started driving down. My mom and I drove first to clean up the place a little bit. Got caught in a brutal rainstorm just as the truck pulled up.
Oh,
Torrential. Could not have been more perfect timing. The dads drove the truck to the city, and it was a torrential downpour as soon as they got out. So we ended up cleaning and hanging around a little bit more. But everyone was calm. No one was worried. No one was on a schedule or anything. But literally the most perfect timing ever. So that was tough and delayed us a little bit. But things went well. Moving was easy. Putting things together makes me annoyed. So maybe by the end of the night, people were like, they need to get away from Joey. But overall, it was pretty successful. And then we had people over this weekend too. So it's been good.
how was it being the host first time in a while?
Good. And I was I made it be good. Because at first I was like, man, everyone's going to make it all messy and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, no, this is going to be awesome. Our living room setup is pretty solid. We got a good couch situation going on. So it was really, really cool.
You didn't make anybody take their shoes off, did you?
No. But I will be sweeping and Swiffering the floor later on tonight. I do want to keep this place clean. Our house in college. Would you ever dare to walk around barefoot at that place?
Absolutely not. I walked around in
Absolutely not.
socks one time because I was I had a dire headache and I needed some water, and
Yep.
it was disgusting, just in socks.
Awful. So we got hardwood floors throughout the whole place, and I am dedicated that this is a barefoot walkable apartment 5 out of 7 days of the week. Weekends,
Wow.
shit happens on the weekends. I'm forcing that to happen.
Okay. Do you have carpet or is it all hardwood?
All hardwood. The bathrooms are tile. Everything else is hardwood. So crumbs are all over the place already. Still finishing, dusting, cleaning up and shit. It's not all over the place. Not like our college house was, but this will be a clean apartment. I'm promising myself that.
For the people listening, I know they want to know the answer to this question. Have you had a new apartment celebratory Red Baron yet?
No, I have not. It's holding strong still. I haven't been grocery shopping, so it's gonna get a little dicey as soon as soon as
Oh
we stop recording
no.
the episode. But we have some leftover. We got I forgot what it was called, but we got pizza from a local place. It was actually pretty solid. Not deep dish. It was actually very thin, floppy New York style. But we got some leftovers there that'll probably do. But grocery shopping, 2 days in, I'm already not looking forward to grocery shopping. So still got to figure that
Where's the
out.
closest? Did you have your car with you?
No, neither of us have a car.
Oh, all right.
We'll see.
Big
Yeah.
city living.
Ooh.
Where's the
I don't know where the grocery store is.
okay, so don't have grocery store. You have gym. Do you know what gym you're going to?
There's a couple gyms that I'm gonna check out this week. I was gone celebrating a friend's birthday in Wisconsin Saturday, so I like just got back today. Like I barely spent 5 seconds in this place that we weren't like partying. So this week will be a productive week to figure a lot of that stuff out.
All right. Okay. What's been is your roommate all in there too now? Like moved in, he got
Yep.
his room all set up?
hmm He's home
Okay.
tonight because he's got business to tend to in the suburbs tomorrow. But
Has to see a
we're
guy.
situated. Yeah.
Has to see a guy. Okay. How
hmm
had and how, did Maddie's come out? How did the friends like the apartment? Do they enjoy? Do more of your friends live back home?
Yeah,
Like
we were the first ones to move out to the city. There are a couple people that moved out of state, so they're like gone.
different?
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, me and my roommate Kyle were the first ones to move downtown. So we have like other peripheral friends, but yeah,
Are you excited or nervous that you're now the house that like everybody will want to be at when they go downtown?
both.
Okay.
Because like I like it. Like I won't have to like travel or anything. Like everyone's coming to me, which is like nice and easier. Like I'm not gonna be too anal about like keeping the place like spotless. Like I'll take care of that like during the week and whatever. Um, But I'm not a night owl. Like some of my friends, like they really
Mhm.
like to tear it up and stay out till 4 or 5 in the morning. For the Chicagoans listening, the Hang Up is a notorious bar that closes at like 4 in the morning, and they closed that bar down the other weekend. Um,
Oh my
that's
god.
not my thing. So
And
my
then came
roommate,
back to the suburb?
yeah, I think they Ubered home after that, or they crashed at a different friend's apartment that weekend. But that is not my jam. So I will be in bed before that, but I'm excited to like host the pre games and all that good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's I actually stepped out of my comfort zone. Not really my comfort
hmm
zone, but I went out this week as well.
Oh,
Yeah, on Saturday night, went out to a couple bars, and the brewery, two of the breweries that we went to, one closed at 11 and another closed at 12, and the
nice.
main bar we ended at closed at 1. It was perfect. No worry
That's
about
perfect.
having to stay up too late. 4 o'clock
I
is
just can't do it.
asinine. That's insane.
It's absurd.
Like the sun's almost
Absurd.
coming out.
Yeah, that's not my thing. But best of luck to them and me for when they come back.
Right, right. And leave a key under the mat. What else has happened? How was Wisconsin? What was the rest of your week like? And how was happening there?
We were up celebrating my friend Nikki's birthday at her mom's new house in Lake Geneva. Just built it right on the lake. It is a beautiful house. So it's just still too cold for like boat activities and water activities, but we were still like out by the dock, like playing beer pong, stuff like that, drinking games. They have a beautiful house. So like just hung out in the basement. Like it was awesome. So I'm riding a high right now. Went out. Sluggers was the first place we hit on Saturday night.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Oh yeah, no batting cages last night, but Lake
Boo.
Geneva the other day. So I'm riding a high right now. This is more than I've gone out probably in like the last month combined because of everything just like hitting all at once. But I am big chilling right now.
I saw a great TikTok this week about a guy who is in his 30s. He lives in Chicago and he was at Sluggers and he was talking about how he went to go close his tab and reached in his pocket and pulled out his wallet and he had an extra token for the batting cage.
Oh,
And she was like, "What's your name on the tab, sir?" And he said, "Actually, I found a token. I'm gonna go play more baseball." And she looked in the he was like, she looked at me with a face of disgust that the 30-year-old man didn't want to close out his tab and he wanted to go hit baseballs in a batting cage. He says, and I don't care what she thinks. I had a great time and I had a great last round in the batting cage. And he's like walking out of the bar. He's walking out of the bar and he goes, and that was a gorgeous Monday night. and,
hell yeah!
and I was like, what a twist. What a twist. No, that's
I'll
great
start meeting the
though.
regulars out there.
Yeah, the slugger regulars. And when is your first Cubs game?
May 18th,
May
Pirates.
18th. Okay, let's go. That's gonna be block. It's like block vibes there.
What? Yeah, 1:20 start. I'm encouraging everybody to spend the night on Friday because we're gonna get up and after it early. It's gonna
Okay.
be. I haven't looked at the weather yet. I'm really hoping it's like a unbuttoned jersey in the bleachers type of day. But I already got that one circled on the calendar.
Will you be a part of a beer snake?
Most assuredly, yes. Most assuredly.
I love that.
They will not
No,
take
that's
this.
great.
They will
That's a
not
big
take this
week.
from us.
This must be a big relief off your shoulders, especially now work, everything that's been going on. This has to feel a lot better.
Absolutely huge. It went pretty much as good as I could ask for, and yeah, it was everything hitting at once. Like work's been crazy busy. Like moving, like has is stressful. We're not quite settled in yet, but a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah,
Very nice.
so talked a lot about me. I'm very excited. I'm doing well, and I haven't talked to you as much this week because of all that. So what's been up?
Really kind of a busier week for me. One of my clients is finishing up filing. It's almost done. So we got that all finished up and kind of everything's out of my hand now. It's in the people signing off and the uppers of my team. So that was kind of nice. But outside of that, pretty easy week. Just kind of stayed home, worked out, went to work, kind of was busy. Work took over a lot this week. Got to play
Yeah.
softball, got to have our Wednesday game. Another big win, walk off, came back. We are a sixth inning team, and this is the game on Wednesday was the day. It was 2 days after the Lakers had been eliminated, and
Okay.
obviously the Lakers were obviously upset. We were all still upset. We're all Laker fans, and we were upset about the whole situation. But it kind of was getting to a point where you just kind of have to laugh at it. And we walked off in the bottom of the seventh, and we're walking off the field after we like high fived the other team, like shook hands with the other team, and it's like dead silent walking into the dugout. And someone's like, "Yeah, we're just a good sixth inning team, and we like to battle late." And I was like, yeah, we're literally the Nuggets. And everyone was like, please stop. Like, please stop. Like, if you look,
Boo.
we probably lead for probably an average of like an inning and a half, if I were to guess. Like, it's actually asinine. So that was great. But then along with that, on Wednesday, outside of softball, Jake Sharber has arrived back home from college,
Wrong side's
freshman year.
biggest fan, baby.
Wrong side's biggest fan, always submitting submissions and liking and follow and subscribing to things. So Jake is home now. It's now a full house here again, and he's been home for probably, let's see, since Wednesday, so about 5 days. And I think
Mhm.
he's only been here to sleep. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's what he's been up to. He's busy working out with his friends or going to play golf with his friends or going out with his friends. Today we had lunch with a family friend or family friends, and he was like, "All right, I'll see you later." And I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, we're going out tonight, just hang out with some friends." So he's home for the least amount of time possible I think you can be in a 5 day span.
Yeah, that's how it usually start. This is home for summer, yes?
Yeah, home for summer. Done with freshman year, home for
Oh.
summer.
My dad was going to get my sister today. They were
From the
empty
airport?
nesters for about 5. He actually drove up to Minneapolis and then dropped
Oh,
the car off for her and flew back all in one day. So shout out the trooper up there.
whoa.
Um, feel like Ohio State's getting off early, but my sisters are the same way. Like they see all their friends right away, and then things start to settle down a little bit. But probably nice to have
They
Jake home.
they were they were empty nesters for probably what, 48 hours maybe?
Pretty
Like
much, pretty much. We were laughing about that.
that's pretty great. Yeah, but nice to have Jake home. He's back now. We definitely, we're watching more sports together now, and we watched the ending of the Sixers Knicks game like a couple days ago. That was fun, and so we had a good time. And now he's just he runs on his own schedule though. He hates to sit still, which I like to be busy too, but I'm busy and I like get tired at the end of the day. Like he's tired and he's like wants to do more. Like he'll pass out at
Yeah,
like 2 o'clock in the morning, like the energy buddy. He just like keeps going and going and going and then passes out. So he's back in town. So we're now running on the Jake schedule. But yeah,
yeah.
been pretty great overall the rest of the week. My buddy Tanner is home. He was here for the weekend because he works for Colorado Boulder, which actually surprisingly we're going to interview Tori later in the episode, who also goes to school there. But Tanner's home this weekend. He was working for Colorado Lacrosse. He works in their sports department. So women's lacrosse was here in LA for the Pac-12 tournament. Got bounced
Nice.
actually on a Saturday against Stanford, but got to see him this weekend. Had a good time. He's home till Tuesday. So nice when he's home because one of our closer friends we don't really see as much. So that was nice.
Yeah.
And outside of that, that was really it. Kind of just a relaxing week. And now we're just kind of getting ready. I got Hawaii in less than 3 weeks. Cannot wait for that.
Let's
Starting to
go.
count down the days. I need it badly. So I'm excited. And that'll be when I see Meg for the first time in like 3, 4 months. So that'll be exciting. I'm
Wow.
excited to see that. And
Yeah.
I'm just ready to go. I'm ready for that job to be done and kind of get all wrapped up here and about to I got a pretty decent like end of filing performance review. So that was great. And
Nice.
that was really it for me for the rest of the week. Yeah, kind of a relaxing week just because work was so busy. So I wasn't really doing as much.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say the first PTO. Have you taken like any vacations before for work?
No, this is my first one.
It feels so good to turn off that computer the Friday before and
Well,
be like, I'm not
I'm
gonna
like
like.
low key worried because I just got assigned to a new client for like the next couple months, and they scheduled
Mm,
time for that week I'm gone, and I've had that week blocked out for months. So I have to make sure they know that. Like, hey, FYI, I'm gone that week.
when are you gonna drop that one on them?
I don't start on that team for 2 more weeks, so
Okay.
it's literally like the second week I'm starting. But like it's a public company that is like they've already filed, so I'm not like too worried. I'm just gonna be like, hey, like I know I'm just coming on, but I've had this for months.
Yeah, I should probably get ahead of that one.
But
Hopefully that's not
whatever.
bad.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's going to be a much needed break and much needed getaway, even though my mom keeps asking me a million questions about it. It'll be nice to get away.
Where are you going? Where are you staying? Where are you going to dinner? Blah blah blah. I got you.
But she has been a very big help in sending us a lot of restaurant recommendations, which has been nice.
That's big. That's big.
So
Yeah.
definitely been a plus so far.
Good. A plug net positive in the plus minus
That,
department.
yeah, definitely maybe plus four. You know, we're an average role player. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
speaking of role players, NBA. Let's go. Your boy.
Wow.
I know you want to do some
Let
flips on it.
Anthony Edwards may be the greatest player to have ever walked the earth. Nikola Jokic didn't even have a double-double against him, much less Mr. Triple-Double over there. He was the best player on the floor that night. I don't even think the Timberwolves played particularly well, and they took one in Denver. I will say probably with every fiber of my being, there's no way the Nuggets drop two at home, so they will probably – I mean, this will come out after game two, but I'm assuming Denver's going to win game two. It'll be really interesting to see what happens in Minnesota. Chris Finch being on the sideline I think is very big. He is probably going to win Coach of the Year this year. So
I thought it was the
it's
Thunder
funny that
coach.
oh, did he win it? I know. I think Finch
Probably.
was a finalist, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not. It's funny that the playoff injury we're talking about for the Timberwolves is their head
Is the
coach's
head
patella
coach.
tendon, which yeah, so it's just kind of brutal. But Anthony Edwards, like it just continues to work. Jaden McDaniels went 0 for 7, and they still won the game. Like Cat played great. Rudy Gobert played his role perfectly well. I think he has a great matchup for Jokic overall. He can move with him. Jokic can't just really like bang him around. So there was one play with Rudy Gobert I want to shout out specifically. Jokic had the ball kind of right at the free throw line where he like does all his work. He went to go throw the lob to Aaron Gordon. Rudy Gobert played up on Jokic enough to contest a shot and also drop back and end up tipping that lob away. And that's the Nuggets
Wow.
bread and butter play. So I was like, I am, I want to say, I don't know if I can say the Timberwolves are going to beat the back-to-back defending champs, but I'm very, very excited about this series.
I think they are kind of exposing that conversation we had a few weeks ago about two big man and they had their six man as Nas being the six
Yeah.
man is, you know, it's a little different than if it was Russ or Torian Prince or someone or Christian Braun.
Mhm.
Reggie Jackson from Denver. He's a big man. He's a four. He can play the five. So it's
Oh, yeah.
another body that plays against Aaron Gordon against Jokic. And Jokic even said in the postgame how they asked him, "How do you contain this? How do you get better?" He says, "Find a duplicate clone of myself."
Did he
So
really?
yeah. So he knows that it's going to be tough with two big men out there, and they switched it all. I know you don't think they play. I think the Timberwolves actually very much outplayed the Nuggets the entire game. The score may have not shown it in the beginning, but they got off to a 9-0 start to start. They were up at the half. They were playing well. The lead got back to short, or I think it ended up tying up in the third. Nuggets were up by a couple, and then T-Wolves took over in the last 5 minutes. But I thought
Yeah.
they played incredibly well, 70% in the second half. Cat was great. Ant was great. Yes, I agree that Jaden McDaniels. We don't got Kevin Durant. We got Jaden McDaniels.
Yes, sir.
Jaden McDaniels did not have a particularly good game, but Nas had a great game. He outscored. I was making fun that he outscored the Lakers like every game on their bench just last night. And the Nuggets, we mentioned it. You mentioned it last week. Aaron Gordon, another stinker kind of a game with 7 or 8 points.
Yeah,
That's their guy. And MPJ was great. Jamal Murray had an awful first half. I think he went scoreless in the first half. Second half,
he
he
did.
woke up a
Yeah,
little. But like again, Jokic, 9 3-point attempts. I don't think he took 9 3-pointers against the Lakers the entire series. I really don't
that's
think so.
interesting.
So maybe is he having trouble with two big guys in the post? Is he having trouble in the paint against them? Does he believe that he has to shoot more threes? Because it wasn't like he was shooting a lot of like last second threes, like to get him off. They were hucking them. Like he wasn't the one taking
Right.
that shot. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting. If they see, I also agree they will not drop game 2. This is definitely a
Yeah.
7 game series, I think, or a 6 game series type of series. It will be very interesting, though, to see how Ant continues to play. Not saying that the moment is too big for him. Obviously, he is right.
Right.
He has rose to every occasion, every time they've asked him to. But when you're playing against Jokic, when you're playing against Murray, those are bigger name players who have been in those situations before. They know how to come
Yeah.
back. They know how to do that. We'll see how Ant really does. The one stat I did see though, which is incredible for Minnesota. I know it's their first. They got to the second round since like 2004. It's their first like
Hmm.
second round win since 2004. But the Nuggets stat I saw, they're down 1-0 now in the series. It's their first time trailing in a series in 2 playoff years.
That's insane.
So, or technically, this is like
That's
the third year. This is
crazy.
like the third year,
Yeah.
So like they didn't trail in the Lakers series. They didn't trail at all last playoff run to the title, and they didn't trail. They trailed the last time 2 years ago. Tough to beat the
That
champs, so that's impressive.
that's very impressive. The only thing I'm not a big cat guy. Like, first of all, credit to the Nuggets because like that's like pure dominance, and the way that Jokic can control a game, like
Right.
every single moment of every single game, is absolutely absurd. Which I'm going to talk about in a second here, but um, I don't trust Cat to go 8 for 13 every game, and
No,
maybe I don't know
I
ball.
agree. I agree. But like you also aren't expecting Jaden McDaniels to have no points.
Yeah, Conley also played. I think there's a big
Conley
series for
had
Mike Conley.
Conley had double
He
digit
had a great
points.
game. Yep,
He's a
double
good
digit
player.
assists, I think too.
Yeah, he is a good role player. Go Bucks. He's a good guy. He fits that team very well as a
Hmm.
very solid veteran. He's a good
Oh yeah,
player, one, but he's a very solid veteran, and I've seen him talk a lot to Ant, and I think they get along very well. So
Pat Bev actually talked about it the other day that he was there for like Anthony Edwards' first year. Obviously, Pat Bev's going to talk himself up. Shout out what he did over the weekend by throwing the ball at the fans' faces. But
and
he
the
said
reporter.
that, yeah, that was tough look for Pat Bev. He apologized, but what? Anyways, he was there Anthony Edwards' first year. Like Pat Bev, not the most talented guy in the world, but he's a dog. He's a worker. He has
Right.
been getting better as he is aging throughout his career. And then go to Mike Conley, who is just a fantastic, like sixth man backup point guard, like understands the game. Very different than Patrick Beverly, but two of the better like veteran point guard mentors that I could
Absolutely.
think of.
Yeah, no,
I think, yeah,
it's crazy actually to see him grow. I feel like he was a very strange number one pick that wasn't the best draft class in the world. And when he
yep,
went number one, he was good. He didn't go to the Blue Bloods. He went to Georgia. He was just kind of like this regular guy. And was that the COVID year draft?
has to be because I don't even really remember it that well.
Yeah. So he goes number one from Georgia, and like you said, yeah, the first year it was kind of like he kind of felt like they weren't really taking extra steps. He was getting better, but
Yeah,
this year I feel like he's really elevated. And I said it in one of our first episodes that he's not going to be, but he should be discussed in the MVP race. I still believe that
yep,
because he's
hmm,
like a SGA where they were a 1, 2, 3 seed. It was they had the three, they were tied at the end. He had that level of intensity, and I think he's great. I think a lot of people are falling in love with his game. It's definitely, I will say, a very weird point. I would say this is probably the first point in our lives. We're still fairly young that we're
hmm,
getting a changing of the guard. I think this
yeah,
is the first changing of the guard in basketball. We've started to see it in football, like Brady and Manning
yep,
and Breeze. We've had our first changing of the guard in NFL, but I think this is our first real NBA changing of the guard since we've been alive. This is the first year since 2005 that no
just
LeBron,
about
no
there.
KD, no Steph in the second round. I told Jake that today. I said, Jake, this is the first time since you've been born that they haven't made
That's
it. His
crazy.
whole life, they've one of those guys have been in the second round. So kind of interesting to see. And you're seeing it in a lot of games, a lot of young players, and you're seeing a lot of young players dominate. It doesn't matter the series. Obviously, Ant's great and Jokic and Murray, but you have the Orlando versus Cavs series, which shout out, called it last week. Cavs in 7. I called it. But you had Donovan Mitchell, he's obviously not a young guy, but he's still younger. He's taking over. You have Paolo, who I actually really think is a very good player,
He's
and
awesome.
he had
Yeah.
an incredible first half today, an awful second half. Game 5 and 6 were tough, obviously from the Cavs' perspective, but battled through it. It was a home team series, not one away team, won a game. 7-0 home teams.
That's nuts.
And you saw it. Donovan Mitchell was taking over. Paolo played well. Wagner played well. Then you look at like New York and Philly, that series. New
Yep.
York, shout out New York. They win in 6. Philly's going home now. But Maxey, again, rising to the occasion, getting better. Brunson, rising to the occasion. DiVincenzo, rising. You're seeing a lot of young guys. And on one hand, very sad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's very sad to see that. On the other hand, it's very exciting to see a new group of players step into the league.
The game is in good hands. The game is in good
Definitely.
hands.
Definitely. And I think you
Yeah.
have a lot of guys that care about the game and a lot of guys that are interested in the game. And you worry that when younger players, you see it all the time in sports, that they don't really care as much about the game. They care about the life and the celebrity status and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
I feel like we have a lot of guys that actually care about the sport, and that's cool to see.
Anthony Edwards loves ball. That is
He does.
Jokic may not love ball, but Shea loves ball. Like
Yeah.
it is sad to see the old guard go, but the game is for sure in good
It's okay.
hands.
And that happens.
Yeah.
It happens. And, obviously when the Lakers lost, it was, the conversation again came up this year about LeBron. What's LeBron going to do? Where's LeBron going to go? He's at that point where now it's questioning if he's going to keep playing, if he's going to retire. And that is a topic of conversation. You have someone like KD who gets knocked out again with the Suns. Is KD's a Steph merchant. I know they say Steph is a KD merchant, but
KD's a
maybe
Steph merchant.
maybe
KD
KD's
loves
a Steph.
ball, but he that's a whole nother episode.
So
KD is
it's
bad
very
legacy.
interesting to see, and I think that the league is definitely in good hands. I think looking forward, we got some great ball left. We're going to have Indiana, New
Great
York,
ball.
which is I don't know if they're, because New York plays very good basketball and they're sound on defense and they have it, but
Yep.
Indiana plays no defense. So I'm worried it might be an over, not an under series of games. I think the history there is great with Reggie Miller, with
Yep.
some great Starks moments. That's going to be an incredible series. Then you have now Boston versus Cleveland, which Cleveland fans, congratulations for beating Orlando. You guys were shouting, "We want Boston," and now I know some of their fans and friends are talking themselves into thinking they can beat them. God willing, God willing. I
God
don't
willing.
know. That'd be awesome, but
That'd be
I think
hysterical. I would love
we
that.
want Boston. It would be intense right now. And then on the West, we have Oklahoma City versus Dallas, which shout out Luka, shout out Kyrie. Great series against the Clippers, who, again, another team that you could talk about for a whole episode.
Oh yeah.
And obviously Nuggets versus T-Wolves. But as of right now, who would you take?
Here's the question, because I was about to hit you with this overall or
What was
throughout
your
the whole
question?
playoffs.
I was going to say, how does things adjust?
I'm still thinking about Anthony Edwards, obviously. I want, of these teams, I'm going Knicks, Wolves.
I would
be my
love that
preferred
as well.
finals matchup.
I would love that as well. Adam Silver would not be happy. I will say that. Minnesota.
New York?
New York, yes, but Minnesota, he would not be happy.
Anthony Edwards has taken over.
But I would love, I think it's T-Wolves Nuggets that's the West representative, I believe.
I don't want to sleep on the Thunder,
series.
but I want to get your what's the deal with this series? I literally was sitting at the bar. Everyone was like, why do you have that concerned look on your face? I'm like, I do not know how the Thunder Mavericks series is going to go. So Luka is obviously a wizard.
Kleba is out for 3 weeks.
That's tough. That's tough.
That's a tough role player. But
Kyrie's game continues to improve. He's getting better every game, it seems like.
And Luka is playing very well at the moment. And I believe that these guys are going to battle very well. And those are two guys with a lot of playoff experience. Just those two guys alone.
Has Luka made a Western Conference Finals?
I think he has.
I'm not sure.
I thought
But
they did. Maybe not. Maybe a
regardless,
semis.
regardless, I think the matchup's very interesting because the Thunder with their youth, with their like, I think I so far the conversation we've had over the last few weeks, like youth usually doesn't really translate well to the playoffs. It's more about experience and IQ there, and we're seeing this play out in front of our eyes right now, and more so in the Nuggets series. But I think the Thunder could run with anybody. I think Lou Dort will be a really good matchup for
Agreed.
Luka potentially. Chet Holmgren was a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, I believe. Um, it's a tough. Both these Western Conference series might go like 6 or 7 games. I don't know. Like, I can't think of the tendencies of the Thunder Maverick series of like who has an
Right.
advantage at a certain spot, but they're pretty different teams that have great advantages in like weird ways. So like it's going to be a star power. Which stars outplay the other because they both do different things.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup. It might not be the eyes of Minnesota versus Denver, but I think
Yeah.
I think those two teams are again. Even though I do believe that the winner of Minnesota Denver is the Western Conference representative,
Yep.
I cannot count the other two teams out. I think they
Yeah.
are also have a shot, but I think on the other side, it's Knicks. It'll be New York versus Boston, and that'll be a sick,
Yeah. The East fucking
a,
sucks.
s- a
That'll be a
sick
great
fucking
series.
Eastern Conference Finals. So
The
we're
Knicks are
looking.
good for basketball. I was like anti Knicks. Like they've never really like been anything that
No,
special.
Knicks are good. Knicks are good for
Knicks are
ball.
good for basketball. The hustle, the Thibodeau 49,
Yeah,
55 minutes per game
absolutely,
BS.
absolutely.
Good for
Yeah,
ball.
agreed, agreed. So gonna be an exciting rest of this series. I'm looking forward to it. I just hate now that we only have like one game a day, or like
I know.
maybe two games a
Sunday,
day.
the Cavs game 7 is on at
Cavs
noon on a
Magic,
Sunday. Like
10 a.m. Pacific
brutal.
time is disgusting. Game 7, just pathetic. So
Yeah.
maybe they can schedule better for us. We'll write in a
Yeah.
complaint.
Hope so.
Wrapping up our NBA though, we're actually going to head into our interview now. Tori Lanzone, Boulder, soon to be graduate, talking about moving home, life, how it's changed in her 4 years in college, and how COVID affected the beginning, how her life has changed in that aspect of her career and what she's wanted to do, and her future goals coming back home to California to start her job. So now we're going to kick it to ourselves in the studio with Tori and hear from her. This week's guest is Tori Lanzone, a soon to be graduate from Colorado Boulder, moving back home to Orange County. Ladies in the Orange County area, she's looking for friends if anybody's interested. Her major is English creative writing with a minor in art practices. We're lucky enough to have Tori in studio to talk about her time in Boulder, how it feels to be graduating, and what it's going to be like moving back home. Tori, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tori, what are the plans for graduation week? When are the parents coming into town?
It's gonna be a wild ride. So, parents and other family members get in on Thursday morning, and Thursday morning is commencement, so it's the big graduation. Because Ohio State
Okay.
only has like
Interesting.
one big one, right?
One big one,
Yep.
So
yeah.
ours is we have a big one, and then there's like little colleges ones.
Mhm.
Um,
Interesting that the smaller ones are after. I always felt like the smaller ones would be
mhm.
before the big one.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like nobody walks at the big one.
Oh,
It's only
okay.
like it's literally only like an hour and there's a speaker, there's things like that. And then
I respect that.
yeah,
That's
and
so
then
nice.
it's awesome. Most people don't really even go to commencement.
Okay.
But yeah, and then the college ones start immediately after. But so commencement's
On
on
Thursday?
Thursday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like Thursday at like noon is the first college graduation and then it goes until like Sunday. So mine is the
Okay.
Friday morning. Um
Nice.
but yeah, so parents get in Thursday morning. Um, uh, Commencement starts at 9 a.m., which means party starts at 4:30 a.m. And
Oh,
then and then yeah, after commencement is my grad party in the afternoon. So we're having a bunch of people at the house, things like that. And then my graduation's Friday morning, which is when I
Sounds like it's gonna
walk.
be a rough one.
It's gonna be rough. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's gonna be a wild weekend, and I'm so
Is
excited.
it the whole 5 families? Is it the entire world's coming, or just your family? For listeners who aren't familiar with Tori and don't know much about her, obviously her family is the royalty of Villa Park, I would say.
Oh,
So if anybody
I
knows
wasn't
Tori or
aware.
familiar with them and the families there, they always travel in a group. They love Sunday dinners. They always have their time together. So who's coming out from your side?
You're gonna be shocked because there's not a lot. It's literally
Oh,
just my immediate four, or my
okay.
Matthew, my parents, and then my aunt Christy, and my uncle Steve, and then Evan is obviously coming, Evan Batty, and that's it.
Whoa. No
That's
Barb and
it.
Lair.
No Barb and Lair. Because here's another thing. My cousin Danny is graduating from med school this weekend. So they're
Oh,
choosing med
trumps. That
school
trumps.
overrides
They're all going to
mine.
med school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
Barb, she likes pristine. She's dogged Matthew about Michigan State since he got in
Yeah.
as a senior in high school. So, but that's
Yeah.
exciting. Always a
But
fun
it's
time.
easier to herd the smaller group of people.
I
Oh yeah.
Which
totally
is
agree.
good.
My mom said when we graduated, it was just my mom, my dad, Jake, and my two grandparents came, and she was like, "I don't know if I could have dealt with any more people. Like it's like so much
Mhm.
easier to get a bunch together, and for us, and like moving from the basketball stadium to your house to dinner.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff to do, and they've
Mhm.
never been to Columbus, so it was kind of like showing them around as well. So that kind of gets tough,
Yeah.
but that'll be good. And
Mhm.
it's summertime, and I assume a brewery will be hit, stuff like that, and that'll be a
Yeah.
good time. What's your one thing you're looking forward to this weekend?
Honestly, I've got a lot of outfits planned.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm really excited for my grad party outfit because I get to wear some cowboy boots, which is a new
Mm.
thing of mine. And only in the last year have I started wearing cowboy boots. And I get to wear like these blue cowboy boots that are nice and they're really cute. But I'm also just excited for, my brother to come back and for us to just all hang out. Um, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be wild.
Graduation weekend's great. Is your whole house graduating?
Yeah, all but one. And I'm one of seven.
Oh wow,
So
Wow.
it's
there's
gonna be a
six of
rager.
us.
That's gonna be
It's gonna
nuts.
be insane, and I'm so, so excited.
Very nice. What has been one moment this year? I feel like you don't really like think about it, what my question's about to
Mhm.
be, until kind of the second semester of your senior year. What's been like that moment where you were like, fuck, this is it. Like this is almost over. Like
It's over. Yeah.
I had a ton of those. I remember my last semester. It was not even like the big things. Like it was like going out after chapter and going to grab drinks, and it was like something so
Mhm.
stupid, and we've been doing it forever. But you were like, damn, like we only got 4 more chapters left. We only got 4 more times
Mhm.
of going out to drink. So like, how has that been like adjusting and like mentally preparing? I know, obviously, we were friends with girls in college, and I'm still friends with younger people in college. And you see the girls like the whole 2 weeks of graduation are a huge event and dresses and
Yeah.
posting, and they want to get
Mhm.
everything out there. So how has that been, and what have been some moments for you that you've been like, man, this kind of stings?
Um, Honestly, I think it just hit me like on this past Thursday
Okay.
because
Wow.
every Thursday this one bar has a college night and it's basically like $5 margaritas from 9 to 11. And the last one that we were all going to be able to go to was last weekend. So the bar was insane. Like I couldn't even get into any bar because the lines were so long.
Right.
And then after like that, we were still on the strip mall, like going to the bars. And I played on an intramural soccer team for like since sophomore year. And our goalie that has been with us forever, I saw him at the bar and he came up to me and he was like, I am so sad. Like, I barely know you guys because I only hang out, like, see you guys like once a week when it's season. But I love you guys so much. And like, these games were like the best part of college. And that's the first
Wow.
time I've cried. That's the first time and only time I'm probably gonna cry. I was like, holy shit, like it's all done. Like this is it. We're done. So that was probably my moment where I was like, wow. Like I'm probably never gonna see this dude again. And I'm like, that is so crazy.
Literally only saw him for an hour of your week for a couple months out of
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah. Insane.
Wild.
Yeah.
So heading into graduation week, are you feeling excited, nervous? I know you're moving home after college, but how are you feeling right now?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
To be done, to be moving home, both, one or the other.
I'm really excited for this weekend, obviously. But I'm also excited to go home because ever since I've been single, I've just loved being uncomfortable. And I know moving home is going to be such a challenge for me personally, physically, emotionally, mentally, all the above. And I'm just so excited for a change in scenery and just something that's going to put me in a position where I can be uncomfortable.
Yeah, change of scenery is really good. Is there one thing in particular you're more concerned about moving home that's going to be like a specific challenge for you to adjust to?
Friends, having friends. I mean, obviously, all my best friends live right in my house.
Hmm.
And the one thing is just not having girlfriends that I can just walk in to a room and they're there.
Yeah.
Especially like pre-college, I had zero. No, not a lot of friends. Not going home to a lot of friends, which is obviously
Mhm.
tough. Especially like all my friends here are from Colorado. So that's going to be hard to go home and
Oh,
kind of just
saying
have to
you're saying they're
relearn.
all from the state too, like not just like
Yeah, like they're
college.
literally from Colorado. So it's like it's hard just thinking about like going home and not having this type of support system that I'm in right now.
I
Yeah, there's
think
a good amount of guys from my pledge class that are still living in Columbus, and like they got the same exact life that we had when we left. Like they just pop into each other's apartments and like do
Hmm.
that. And I think that's probably like the biggest thing that I miss about college. I know Michael and I were both big couch guys. We were regulars in the living room, so we were always
Yeah.
ready to hang out.
yeah, it's just it's a little different. I feel like you said, like yeah, the friends and like not to say that we didn't Joey and I didn't have friends at home, but so it's more so like we were big couch guys in a sense of I can only go into another room and see my mom and dad. I can see my brother when he's
Hmm.
home from college, and there's really no one that like wants to like shoot the shit and like fuck around. Like I can only watch so many like World War II documentaries with my parents. I can only watch so many shows with them. And I
Yeah.
love them, but that's like the truth versus like always having
Hmm.
sports on, always shooting the shit in your living room. And that's definitely a big uncomfortable like adjustment. And I always feel like I see like TikToks. Like I always see girls like making TikToks of them being like, "Oh, like I won't be able to go into your room tomorrow, and I won't be able to go like fuck around and like talk in your room while you're getting ready." And I know that's a common theme. I
Hmm.
feel like when people live in houses like this.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah.
any plans when you move back to like I played volleyball and basketball, and I know Michael plays softball. Do you have any plans like get involved in things to like meet new people, stay involved? Because it's easy to get really bored at home, I feel like.
Yeah. I really want to see if I can join like a soccer league. Um, just because I need something physical and I love soccer with my whole entire heart. So I'm gonna need to figure that out. Maybe I'm gonna have to take some initiative and start some things myself. Maybe a book club would be cool. Maybe just go on Bumble for friends and go on little coffee dates and try and meet friends. But those are kind of the things that I've been thinking about.
Starting something would be difficult.
Yeah,
That'd be intense. So good
yeah,
luck.
What about
yeah,
what about like what about
No, not like me.
not intramural? It's co-ed. What about co-ed basketball? Would you play basketball still, or more so soccer now?
yes. Yes, I would play. I actually played co-ed basketball this past semester. That was so much fun. Loved that. Get a little nervous though when there's like gigantic 6'9" men trying to block my
That's so
shot.
fair.
So,
That's fair.
so
Yeah.
I get a little nervous. And then I'm also
So does
thinking about it
Joey.
and I'm like, how
We were
yeah.
so bad in our basketball league. We gave up 103 points in our playoff game. It was awful. I was also coming off an injury, so it was a whole thing.
That
But
injury was far. That injury was far
we were
away.
not very good at the
Yeah.
beginning. Anyways,
Yeah.
basketball's so hard.
Yeah, and I'm like also thinking about it, and I'm like, how hard do I want to go? Because I'm 22, gonna be starting my life, my job, and I can't be like tearing my ACL in the 24-hour fitness gym.
Right,
Like
right.
that can't
No,
like I
stay
can't be
active.
doing that.
You get old quickly.
I know.
I got
But
back
I'm
pain I did not have when I was a 22-year-old.
oh my gosh. Dude, my back pain's already started. I went on an injury in the fall during soccer and I was like, crap.
Oh,
Well, other than our deteriorating bodies in men's league and women's league soccer and softball and basketball, what have been some of the biggest changes you have seen through college and from when you got there to when you ended? Obviously, now it's 4 years later. Were you a COVID high schooler graduation? No.
COVID,
ooh.
yes, didn't get c- graduation senior year.
Oh,
So I
I remember
started
it was
college.
you, Jordan, and Ben did it in the
Yeah.
backyard. I actually
Yeah, yeah,
remember
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, so
So it was like the
COVID.
second half of your senior year of high school.
Yeah. So like that
Okay.
March, I graduated in June. That March is when everything stopped.
Okay, so
Dang.
how have things changed obviously for you in the real world in like academic wise and like personal, like how have you seen yourself change and like what are some of the things you look back on and you're like, man, that was crazy 4 years ago and I don't really give two shits about it anymore. Like how have you changed in
Yeah.
that perspective?
Honestly, just my whole personality has changed. I think not even just in the last 4 years, I think just in the last 9 months, 10 months, I have
Wow.
changed so much. Just because, I mean, my mindset in the beginning of senior year of college was like, yes to everything. There's no excuses. We're putting ourselves out there and we're getting things out of it. Um, but I mean, in high school and like my first 3 years of college, going out, I was like, I think I'd rather just stay home and whatever. Like, let's watch a movie on the couch. Let's do whatever. Let's be chill. Just because I would say I was an extroverted introvert. Like, I wouldn't put myself out there. I wouldn't talk to people I didn't know and things like that. But just in the last like 10 months, that's completely changed. I feel like I can talk to anybody and hold a conversation and I'll put myself out there. I love being social, even just not drinking social. Like I love just
Yeah.
going and doing things and
Yeah.
like that's like the biggest thing is I yes, I get my alone time in my room, but the majority of my time like I'm surrounded by people. I'm wanting to meet new people. I'm wanting to hang out with new people and things like that.
I think that's a huge mentality to have for moving home, like especially if you don't have like a friend group to go back to, like the ability to just like I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do stuff, I'm going to meet people, like if you don't have that mindset going into it, it's almost too late cuz moving home it's almost like freshman year
Mhm.
of college, like everyone's kind of resetting and it's harder than freshman year of college. Everyone's focused on their new jobs, like this that and the other thing, but you still have to have a social life. And for some
Yeah.
people, like I moved back home with most of my friends, like for a lot of people, like it's completely different. People are on new schedules with work and stuff. So just that like desire to get involved and like go do stuff like will be huge for you moving home.
And I think
Yeah.
if you do like when you do move home, like the thing about it is like finding people that want to keep up with you. Not in a sense of like
Mhm.
you're like not in a sense of like oh keep up with you like at going out every time, but just keep up with you and like care about you. Like I have definitely
Yeah.
Yeah.
seen myself. I've been home for a year and a half almost now, and my friend group has virtually stayed the same, but it has shrunk. And I've started to realize like a I can read bullshitters very well. B I just realized that like there's some things I just don't give a shit about anymore, whether it's like something they're interested
Mhm.
in or something I'm not, and like kind of realizing that like it's okay to be like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, or I don't want to go to
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and like being people that
Yeah.
are be like, yeah, you know what, that's okay, I don't care either, or even someone like, hey, Tori, haven't seen you in a couple weeks, let's get lunch this week, stuff like that. I
Mhm.
think like that's where you'll really see the people that like truly care, and I think that's like
Yeah.
that's a feeling when you're at home and you don't have like the
Yeah.
craziest world going on. You're not living in LA, you're not living in New York City, you're not living in Chicago. Like it keeps life entertaining, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, and, like, honestly, to go off of that, like, I've always kept my circle small, and, like, of course, it's gotten a little bigger, but for the people that I confide in, it's still, like,
Right.
my little group of people. But what was I gonna say? Uh, fuck. Where was I going with this? I forget. Whatever. It'll come back.
We'll catch it in a couple minutes in the rest of the interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go home. The one thing I am concerned about, oh, this is where I was going, is it's just
See, there it is.
I'm not restricted because I obviously have parents that love me. My parents want to do things for me. They want me to have as much fun as I can, but I am constricted. Like the thought of going on a date and this man picking me up and knocking on the door of my parents' house kind of freaks me out a little bit. Like it freaks me out knowing that like my dad's office is right there by the front door and he's like seeing this go down. Um but those are like just like the little things that
There are small things that you
are
like think that aren't that
yeah.
important, but like they're kind of like awkwardly important. Like you have
Yeah.
those thoughts of like, I told like Dean one time, like Dean when he was younger used to have this like motocross picture of himself, and it was super sick. Like it was like a fat head, and I remember being like,
Mhm.
and like I have had fat heads. I still have fat heads. Like still on my wall. It's my childhood room. I don't really care enough to take everything down.
Oh,
And
I
like,
still have fat heads on my
yeah.
childhood room.
So, but I remember saying like, because like Dean, we were talking about him. I was like, could you imagine like bringing a girl home and seeing like for my room
Yeah.
Derek Jeter or like his room like that picture of him? Like that's just like funny small things that you don't think about that are just like you said, like restricted but not restricted.
Yeah. 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 But it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited. Yeah.
What's one
Nice.
thing like the biggest thing you're looking forward to when you get home? Like something not the soccer or like starting clouds, like something that you're like, I'm super excited about this.
Mom's
I'm
cooking. Stuff
so
like that.
okay, yeah, I'm really excited to get into my parents' routine because
Okay.
personally, my dad is very disciplined. My dad's a very disciplined person, and he's already told me once you get home, you're going to the gym with us at 6 a.m. every morning. Like,
Ooh.
you're doing that. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So, my mentality moving home is I'm like, I'm getting ripped, I'm
Yeah.
having great meals, and that's all I could ever ask for.
Getting repped and getting
Like in
ripped.
Amen.
reality,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's all I need.
Yeah, the routine is good. I think that was one thing I definitely in 2024 have been very lucky to find, especially when I like obviously I've mentioned before on here about 75 hard and working out and like since I've done that, it's allowed me to do a lot of the things you've talked about. Like saying yes more,
Mhm.
gotten a routine more, stay more disciplined and like as small as like you don't think that really matters, like it has helped me substantially. Where now I get up and like I
Yeah.
get to the workout before work starts, so now I'm in ready to go. Like boom, already like one thing off my checklist. And Joey and I joke obviously all the time about checklists and how great they are. Like it's just so nice to like cross things
Oh
off
yeah.
your like daily or weekly
Mhm.
checklist, and you
Yeah.
just feel better about yourself. And I think
Oh yeah.
that makes you feel like a better person every day.
Yeah. And it's just like mentally strengthening. Like it's
Yes,
Oh
hard to
yeah.
know like
1000%.
even if you have just like little things and you're like take out the trash, done. Like it makes you feel
Done.
like you're doing things and like not having that. I mean, I've just seen so many people suffer because they feel like they're not doing anything. And
Right.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you can make a checklist, do all these things, and it'll make you feel fulfilled, even if it's just the
Absolutely. Like
littlest thing ever.
this was mine this week. Like it's still on my desk and like small, like you said, small things like softball. Like that was one of them. Check.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
set up Tori interview, just like texting you, but like, okay, done. Set that up.
Hmm.
Like stuff like
Yeah.
that helps like so much, I feel like.
Yeah. There's just little things you can do that I call it positive manipulation. I love
Yes.
positive
Oh.
manipulation. Just for example, I'm really into energy beads. Um, I
Okay.
think they actually work? Uh, no, maybe not, but I'm
Are they
gaslighting myself
equivalent?
into making them work.
Are they equivalent to the power balance wristbands when we
Oh
were
yeah.
younger? Remember those? Like,
No. No.
I found one when I was cleaning out my bedroom. Electric.
No.
oh,
Yeah.
that's
No.
so
But
funny.
honestly, like I love the energy beads. And they're a great conversation starter. I think they've helped my mood change a little bit. Um I get a lot of compliments on my energy,
Oh,
Oh.
which is interesting. To go back to like some of the how I've changed a little bit. The best compliment I could ever get is, "I love your energy." I'm like, "Thank you. That's awesome." But that's also changed with changing my face. I used to have really bad RBF, and my um, little New
no,
Year's resolution was to
no.
change that.
That's funny.
But yeah, so now every time I'm just like walking somewhere, I just think about smiling, and then I don't have RBF anymore.
Very nice.
So
Love
that
that.
helps. Yeah,
The small
it's pretty
wins,
nice.
positive,
Mhm.
positive
Small wins,
affirmation.
little wins. It's all about the little wins.
I want to talk about your job and a little bit of that stuff too. So I know you majored in like creative writing and art stuff like that. You have a cooking and an art account on Instagram, but you're not doing that post graduation. So how are you feeling about that? Talk about that a little bit.
So I am really excited for it actually. I am getting involved in like medical device sales. Um or when college started, I was really stuck on I want to go to law school, I want to be a lawyer. But through my major and classes, that sort of changed. And
Mhm.
my uncle's an orthopedic surgeon, so he kind of in December put me in contact with some people, and I've been talking to them ever since. And I and it's going to work out. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So when it starts, I don't know. I need to go home. I've got some more meetings. But yeah, I'm really excited about it.
How has the
Nice.
job like not perspective, but like the job path you started on in college like changed? How much do you think it's changed? And is this something you're like in love with doing, or you're like, all right, like it's a good first job out of college?
So with my major and everything, I never in a million years thought that I'd be getting in the medical field. Just strictly because I'm horrible at math. I am not a math girl. So when I was picking my major and things, I was like, I love to read, I love to write. And even after college, no matter what I'm doing, that's going to help me. So that's sort of why I chose that. But then now, like, in January, I was standing in an OR and I'm surrounded by all of these brilliant sciency people and I'm like, I do not belong here. Like I am not qualified to be watching this person cut open a body. But um after like I was talking to people and there's people that work there now that have had the same experience I had, and they're like, they teach you everything you need to know. You will be qualified. They're never going to put you in a situation where you're not ready. Like it's all comfortability and everything's going to be okay. So then after that, I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. This is going to be awesome. And the more conversations I have and the more I learn about it, the more I can see myself actually like pursuing it and doing it more. So not just like a first year out of college type of job. Like I can really see myself excelling in it, which is cool.
That's exciting. Yeah. Are you going to continue with the art account? I think having a hobby is super important, especially when you
Mhm.
move home right away. So, what's your plans for the art account? I know you talked about interior design a little bit, and how are you going to keep that going?
Shoot yourself a
Oh
plug.
yeah,
Shoot yourself a plug here.
Yeah,
I
drop the
love
ads.
the
Drop
art
the
account.
ads.
Okay, art account Tori Lanzone _art. She's great. She has 140 followers. I started that one during COVID, and it started as a hobby, and now I'm wanting to kind of get involved. I need to start looking on like Etsy shops and how to kind of get that going a little bit.
Like
But
sell, you're saying? Like find a way to
yeah,
sell?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like sell things and stuff. But my dad just bought a new office or just got a new office building last summer, and he came to me and was like, "Do you want to do all the art for the building?" And I'm like, yes, of course I'll do that. So I did that. And he kind of put that in my head, like, you can actually like do this as a job. Like if you get enough
Yeah.
clients and like have
Freelance.
office buildings and freelance type of shit, like you can actually do that. And I was like, gosh, that's actually a really good idea. I'm like, I never even thought about this. Like I didn't know I could do this. Um, so that was really cool. And that kind of just exposed me to more things.
I feel
Um,
like that would
but
be
yeah,
also like a way, like you could easily do that outside of working in the medical sales
yeah,
field.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's and on like as an artist, I'm really fast. Like I do things really quickly. And so time-wise, it doesn't really like I could pound like 4 paintings out in like 6 hours. Like it's really quick for me and it's a hobby and I love it and it's an escape and it keeps me
Oh yeah.
grounded in connection with reality, which is awesome. Um, but yeah, so that's the art account. Anyone want a painting, let me know. I'll do it for you. Um,
And then
but
the
yeah.
cooking one.
Oh, the food account. That one's a recent addition to the Instagram. At Tori's dot taste buds. She is awesome. I've been cooking since I was like 5. I've always loved cooking and baking and doing all of that stuff. And I always post just whatever I'm making on my main Instagram. And a couple months ago, or not even a couple months ago, like 3 weeks ago or so, one of my sorority sisters told me that I should make a food account. So I was like, awesome, of course, say less, I'll do it right now. So I made the food account. It's got 109 followers. I started posting every day, but I've obviously been really busy like with graduation and stuff. I haven't been cooking as much as I should. But yeah, we post recipes, we post videos, and it's
What's
so
the
fun.
best thing you've cooked so far?
Ooh.
Oh, the best thing I've cooked. I'm really into egg roll in a bowl right now. I love that. It's basically just like ground pork, Asian-y type of flavors, deliciousness type vibes. But I always make a steak and salad. So that's cool. That reminds me though, I have a green bean recipe that I made the other day, but it's not my recipe, it's somebody else's. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to post that without getting copyrighted. Me acting like I'm famous. I'm not famous. But it's like these green beans and it has like this lemony pistachio vinaigrette on them. And when I tell you they're like the best thing is I ever had in my life, it's crazy. Sounds weird, but they're delicious.
What's been the toughest thing to make?
The
Mm.
toughest thing to make, I always get scared when I'm making a piece of meat, like steak, when I'm making steak, because
Okay.
the pans that I have are very smoky for some reason. Like they're really smoky. So every time I'm
The
cooking a piece of
frat and
steak, the
sorority
fire
annex
alarm goes off.
pans.
Yeah, they're horrible. I'm like, every single time I'm cooking a piece of steak, the fire alarm's going off. And I'm like, this is so awkward, whatever. But every time
Facts.
like you cut into it, you're like, please be pink, please be pink, please be pink. But yeah, so that's probably the tricky part.
That's exciting. No, yeah, those are great. I think Joey and I have slowly realized through about 2 months of these episodes that like having something outside of work is
Hmm.
very helpful. And
It's
like
Yeah.
oh yeah.
it can be something as small as you just reading a book and like talking about it on your Instagram once a week, or having a
Hmm.
food account or an art account or this podcast. And moving home, like like Joey and I talked about it about a year ago, starting it, never got around to it. Just life happens. Life gets busy.
Yeah.
And now we
Hmm.
have it. And like you said, like it's just like you were talking about it, your account, and you're like, oh, it's a small account. Like this is still a very small podcast. We got 160 followers. We have, only like 15 or so subscribers on YouTube. And it's very tough. But like it's a great outlet. At least for like us,
Hmm.
like it's
Yeah.
just such a good mental outlet where it's like, man, work is kicking my ass right now. Studying is kicking my ass right now. I'm busy with everything. I'm just gonna like sit down with Joey and we're gonna talk for an hour just about the podcast and like prep for next week. And it just like clears your mind and gives you such a
Oh
different
yeah.
perspective of like everything's gonna be okay.
Hmm. Like honestly, just to go off of that, like I've been trying to just pull as many things I can do when I get home. And because now that I'm not doing intramural soccer anymore, I'm like, I don't have anything much to look forward to. Like, that was my outlet during college and stuff. I'm like, I'm so
Mhm.
excited for
Right.
Tuesday to come. We're gonna win the playoffs this year. Like, this is gonna be great. But, going home, like, I have to really grab as many things and figure out like what that's gonna be for me.
What is one thing you want to not let me see how I can word this. Like if you could take like one thing to guarantee it, like what would be the one thing you wanted most when you got home? Like I'm not like how we talked about earlier, like cooking and the kitchen and stuff. Like taking one thing from college that you would like to have most, whether it's consistency with friends and staying in touch with them, whether it's finding that soccer league, like what do you think is your key to like mental happiness when you get home?
I honestly think it's just gonna be the environment, like the
Okay.
literal environment. Like, for example, my room when I get home. Like, my room is not my room. It's not. So I already told my parents, I was like, I'm moving home. My bed needs to be in the corner. I need new work, like artwork. I need to fix this and I need to take these photos down. Like, I just need a safe space because here I have like this is my safe space. I have all my stuffed animals, I have my blankets, I have my wall. Like, I have all of that, and at home I don't. Like, it does not feel like it's mine. So that's something I need to
I rearranged my room
plan
as
out.
soon as I got home. I mounted a
Yeah.
TV, I moved my bed around, changed my childhood bedroom for the first time ever, and
Mhm.
I like, it was helpful to just, like, reset, be like, this is comfortable for me, this is good," like, that that's a good idea. I thought that
Yeah.
was good for me too.
Yeah, and I'm like, I mean, my room hasn't changed since I was in like fresh 8th grade freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
And just like looking at it, I'm like, God, there's so many weird bad memories that come back like when I'm in this for so long. So I'm like, okay, I need to change this. This is not going to be good for my mental health. But that's definitely the one, like that's like the baby step that I can just do for myself personally. That's just going to keep me grounded and okay.
Same.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Um, our one question outside of life and school and academics that I had before we wrap up here is obviously on the podcast, we do talk about life. We talk about different situations we're put in. We obviously talk about sports as well. And Joey and I wanted to know, and we were talking about it this week, how has the environment and the university changed in the last year with Dion, with Shador, and what was that like, especially your first 3 years, basically being an irrelevant football team?
It's been actually unreal. Like, my junior year,
Like,
we had one
yeah,
win
like,
against
we're
Cal.
interested to hear it from your perspective too.
Yeah, like, we had one win against Cal. We stormed the
Okay,
field. We stormed I almost tore my ACL
that's
jumping
so
over
bad.
the thing,
Factory of sadness energy.
storming the field for one win against Cal. Like, that is how bad we were. And honestly, just when it was announced that Dion was coach, everyone was like, "We're going to the playoffs. We're getting a bowl game, whatever." And I was like, "Guys, calm down. We're gonna get 4 wins. It's not gonna be an overnight turnaround." Like, he said it himself. He's packing his bags and he's bringing it with him. And I like
That's
this
Louis.
year, yeah, like this year, I've gotten to know a lot of the football guys that have been here for 4 years, and they have said Dion does not make time for you if you're not a
Not a
transfer
starter.
and not a
Oh,
starter,
Not
not
a
a
transfer and
transfer.
not a starter.
Like, if you were on the team and you were not playing, he did not care about you.
Uh,
And
okay.
I'm like, sorry, like that kind of sucks for you guys, but he said it himself. He's changing the program around. Like, the program sucked and you guys were here, like, it's obviously not working. It's not coaching, it's the talent. So with Dion being here, like him pulling in like
Give him
bringing in
time.
all the people, bringing the transfers and things like that, like he started from nothing and we got to start building. Like, we can't keep moving backwards. If you were here, you just got to get out. Like, you got to leave. But the fan base has been crazy. Every game sold out. It's insane.
How has the environment been like on game days? Like because like my reason I asked that is that you've been to Columbus before, you've been to Michigan State for game days, and like
Hmm.
in the Midwest, in the Big Ten, football games are a big deal. I've never been to a Northwestern, for example, tailgate. They're a bad team in the Big Ten. I don't know what a game day looks like there. What was a
Hmm.
game day before Prime, and what does a game day after Prime look like?
So, okay, we were in a very unique situation, and I think just geographically, we're very blessed over here. Um, every time it snows,
Definitely,
the next day sunny.
definitely.
Like there's like the sun's out 99% of the time over here. So, for example, before Dion got here, I think when we only like the season when we only had one win, we still had like the most attendance out of any college whatever college stadium that season in the
Okay,
Pac-12 or whatever. But
okay,
those fans only stayed for a quarter.
Mm.
So after like once halftime hit, it was empty. But
gotcha.
now like I am getting a ticket to a game and I have to leave early because they're overselling tickets and I literally cannot move. Like I cannot even walk in the hallways. It's so packed and so crowded the whole time. Everybody's pre-gaming like 7 hours before the game starts. Everyone is making the decision to rally for the whole day, and it's insane. It's insane.
Have you seen Shador on campus?
Yes, I have seen Shador. I've actually seen him at the bar, and he did offer to buy me a drink one time, and I said
Joey, what do you have to say about that?
no.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
First pick in the NFL draft next year.
That's your
He
boy,
To the
Joey.
Raiders.
scares me.
He's
He
goaded.
scares me. He scares me.
He's a
And some of the
weirdo.
things that I've heard from some girls, I'm like,
Oh,
sorry, I'm not getting involved with this. I'm like, I can't do it. There's NDAs involved. I don't know if I'm gonna get.
Oh
Am
yeah.
I
Oh,
gonna get like?
100%.
Am I gonna get arrested for this?
No,
No,
no, no,
no.
no.
It's just rumors. I heard a rumor. It was a rumor that there was NDAs involved, but I don't know if it's true. It's probably not
Respect the
true.
hustle. Respect the hustle.
It's
They said the same about
yeah,
Braun. They said the
yeah.
same about Braun.
See, it's just rumors. It's rumors.
when did they
It's
say
fine,
that?
but it's kind of scared me. It's been
They
going
said it.
around
Oh yeah, this is like last week.
for a
This is
while.
last week when Joey was like, "Yeah, people are talking." I said, "Who's people?" He said, "We."
No.
Okay. Okay. So
Uh,
then,
it's been like that
if
for
you
a
were to
while.
say, do you have a do you have do you have a game picked out you're going back to next year?
I
Like a
don't.
weekend? Have you guys talked about that? That's oh, you don't. Okay.
I literally I haven't even looked at the schedule, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
because I don't know how my job is gonna be working out. I don't want to
Fair. Fair.
Yeah.
like right now, my number one focus is getting that dialed in and figuring that out.
Oh yeah.
And especially like this summer, I already have a wedding that I'm going to. So I'm like, okay, I need to pick my battles over here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you have to. It's kind of tough, especially in the beginning. Like, you don't want to like take vacation like
Mhm.
right off the bat and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, like,
Yeah.
thanks for hiring me. I'm gonna
I
be
did.
on these."
I
Yeah.
still get made fun of for it. I went to Hawaii in my first like 5 months. Still get made fun of. It was
Wow.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's good. Well, Tori, thank you for joining us. We really hope you have a great rest of your week for graduation. Matthew will be out there, legend, one of our best hitters on the softball team. He's been talked about before on this. People are familiar. Susan Tone and the rest of the family. It's going to be great. We're excited for you. Going to be a fun week. The Lanzones know how to party, they know how to celebrate a big event. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Joey, I know appreciates it. I appreciate it. It was good to hear from someone graduating, having a different perspective of life and where they're at in life.
Mhm.
And we want to say thank you. So thank you for coming
Be-
into the studio.
Best of
Thank
luck
you
moving
guys.
home. You got a great mentality going into it. Very excited. I was asking my friends like what should we ask this person? They said you should have her back on in a year and see what she actually did with it. So at the moment, it's all talk right now. Let's see what you actually do with
That's a
it.
good
Good luck.
spin.
Good luck.
That's a good spin.
Awesome.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, Tori, thank you. And now, moving in, we're going to go to our ad read and our clutch moment of the week.
Thanks, Tori. On to our clutch moment of the week, sponsored by Shore Metals Inc. Shore Metals, premier metal supplier serving Southern California since 1970. Big enough to serve you and small enough to know you. See Stan. He'll help you out. Michael, who is your clutch moment of the week?
My clutch moment of the week goes out half to Dean and Tanner, my friends, half to my own research and AMC. My clutch moment of the
Okay.
week goes to my AMC movie A-lister pass. I finally caved and got one. It's a great deal. I highly recommend, and definitely my clutch moment of the week. It's $24.95 a month. You get movies at any AMC in the nation. You
Oh,
get free upgrades for popcorn, drinks, ticket deals. You get a ton of different benefits. It's $24.95 a month, and you get 3 movies a week. So about 12 movies a month
dang.
for $25. So realistically, you see 2 movies, you win. I think because the
Yeah.
ticket's about $16. So, but another moment that was clutch about it was if you bought now, first month 99 cents.
Big
So
time.
first month was $1, and I already cashed in and won my first month. I went this weekend to see the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary, and first of all, fantastic. Even though Star Wars 1 people hate it, I think it was still fantastic. But I won the first month now. Definitely going to be using my pass. Going to go see Challengers. Going to go see new movies that are coming out. Civil War, maybe. So definitely looking forward to using that and getting to go out and see more movies.
I I I think my dad has like an AMC membership, and I swear it was like 1 free ticket a month. So
Yeah,
like three
3 a
movies a
week.
week is nuts. Yeah.
It's honestly a great deal. I'm very happy. I usually used to just go with my buddies who had one, and I would get like fees waived, so my ticket's a little cheaper. But it's well worth my money to do this now. So
No, that's
definitely
sick.
recommend.
I gotta find the movie
Not
theater
clutch
in my
moment of the week
I like
though is that the
Mm.
R2D2 popcorn bucket was already sold out by the time we got there.
Damn it.
So that
That's
was my
tough.
not clutch moment of the week. What's yours?
Okay. My clutch moment of the week, over to the Cavs again. Donovan Mitchell and those bums he's carrying around. Jay Bum, Bicker Bum over there. Won the series. Won game 7. We're recording this on Sunday. They just won first playoff series win for the Cavaliers without LeBron James since 1993. So feeble franchise potentially. So shout out Donovan Mitchell
Feeble?
more so than anybody else. But what'd you say?
I said Feeble Watch. Are they on Feeble
Feeble
Watch?
watch. Low key though, it's the same thing as the Bulls. Like the Bulls are like, oh,
Yeah,
like
very.
six championships. If you take away the Michael Jordan years, the Bulls are actually pretty bad. So
Well, let me ask you this: but like Derrick Rose never won a series,
no, he won series. Like
so
that's true. Like the Cavs
like
are pretty bad.
that's what I'm saying. So
They had
like,
an Eastern
and like,
Conference Finals with
and
Derrick Rose.
and when was the last time? Like, do you think it wasn't 20 years when Derrick Rose won a series and Michael
Like
Jordan won his last
2010,
one?
2011. I think, dude, I'm pretty sure the Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade, Rajon Rondo Bulls won a playoff series.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, shout out to the Cavs for finally getting in the win column without LeBron.
Wrapping it up with Outside the Line and starting out with everybody's favorite tone deaf person of the week, Michael. Who you got?
Tone deaf person of the week, the Steelers special teams coach. What is going on? Why am I seeing? Why is Jalen Warren saying that Justin Fields is going to return kicks? What happened
I
there?
What happened to the game I love? Though it is fair to say that Justin Fields has a lot to be desired as an NFL quarterback. That's fair.
Correct. Correct.
There were the running back takes on the Bears, and even that wouldn't be insane. Like a 2 quarterback set with Justin Fields taking a handoff wouldn't be insane.
Sure.
Putting him back there and having to defend this take this week to my other friends, I want to rip my hair out. Like, I cannot believe this happened. Like, this makes no sense. This has to be fake, and I'm so scared.
First of all, it has to be fake. It has to be fake. I don't know why that came out, but it has to be fake. Second of all, what I didn't know until I started looking into it more, they just signed Cordariel Patterson. who's like a
Yeah,
top
that's
3 returner of all time. So what in the world had made them think that we're gonna get Cordell and Fields into the same room? Are they gonna work together?
Well, I'm pretty sure Cordell is a pretty big body himself, and Justin Fields is a pretty like 6'3", 6'5", somewhere around there.
Is
So
Justin Fields a gadget man?
I sure as hell hope not. He cannot be. He cannot be.
I mean, that would be a sad way to go out.
That'd be a that'd be. My heart would break. I like the love Caleb Williams. Ride or die for Caleb Williams. Justin Fields, like give the guy a shot. Give him one fair chance to
He would
play
definitely need a
quarterback for a
bigger
competent
statue.
team.
He would need a bigger statue
He,
if that were to happen to him.
oh yeah, like he can't catch a break. I feel he's so wrong. Justin Fields is so wrong side.
Justin
All
Fields,
of
you're
it.
wrong side, and we would love to have you on if you're listening. So
Yes,
Justin Fields,
please.
please come on. But that's
We'll
that's
listen
my
to all
tone
the
deaf
wrong
is the
side.
Steelers. Usually Tomlin is pretty sound about how he runs the organization. This is probably like the
Right.
first headline outside of Big Ben that has made me turn my head on this team. So definitely
Yeah,
interesting from the Steelers side.
figure it out.
Whatever though.
My
What about you? Tone deaf.
My tone deaf person of the week. So, as I've talked about a couple times, my girlfriend and a couple of our other friends are high school teachers, and there's a lot of conversation about like how the administration is going, like what the system is like, and I find it very interesting because I really do think kids these days, we're like what 5-6 years out of high school. I think kids these days are significantly dumber than we were in
Right.
high school. So I find it interesting having those conversations. And then you look at the lawmakers who pass things around education, and they passed a law recently. Basically lowering testing thresholds to force kids into honors and AP level
Lowering
classes.
testing thresholds for what?
I think it's the PSAT. I don't remember exactly what it was, but basically, and the bigger point of it isn't like which test it is. It's when I was in high school, because our friend teaches in the district that I went to high school in. You had a
Okay.
conversation with your teacher on these like placements, like, oh, I don't want to do like AP
You
US
had the
history. Like I'm
choice,
going to stay in.
right?
Yeah, you had the
That's how it
like
was
you
in high
obviously like
school too.
100%. So I think this is an Illinois state law. No conversation with the teachers. They can't look at the teacher's recommendation at all. They're pretty much automatically put into these classes. And the logic behind why this is happening is to encourage some schools that don't offer honors and AP level classes to start offering those, which I guess you want kids to achieve, challenge themselves, yada yada. But if you talk through how this will play out logically for about 5 whole seconds, you can realize the flaw of this plan. What will happen? They will put way more kids into these honors and AP level classes, forcing them to hire more honors and AP level teachers. Not all these like regular level teachers are qualified to teach these higher level classes. So what will probably happen is some of those teachers will get let go too. So you have all these teachers at the honors and AP level, all these kids who shouldn't be there in the first place, and not a lot of like regular level classes to send these kids. So when these kids decide to drop these high level classes anyways, there's going to be nowhere for them to go because they're not going to have enough teachers. And then there's going to be too many AP teachers because all these kids are dropping. So I don't get how like you could generalize this to like all of the lawmakers for all I care, but I don't get how like someone could walk out of work that day and say like, "Oh yeah, we did good stuff today. This is a great idea," and not realize these consequences are like staring you square in the face. So had a long conversation about that today and thought that it was just absurd that like these people are creating our laws and our rules, and it just made no sense to me.
What does Maddie think about it?
They're already the principal of both their schools are like already talking about like appealing it and doing petitions and stuff. It was supposed to go into effect like this coming fall, like the beginning of next school year.
Right.
They're already talking about revoking it before that even happened.
Oh
So
my God.
obviously, as soon as everybody heard about this, they're like, this is the dumbest idea ever. This is exactly what's going to happen. And now they're like, oh, I guess I should have thought of that. Like, it makes it's a lot of BS, a lot of tone deafness, a lot of extra work. Like,
Not thinking through.
how did this not get caught? How did this not get caught the first day this bill was produced or whatever committee it was in? Like, that is like shocking to me how something like seeming like, again, not an expert in education policy by any means, but something that has these consequences staring you square in the face gets through with the amount of things it has to get through to get passed is absurd to me.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
New tone deaf. Yeah.
Oh, new tone deaf. I was gonna say, I think those people
No.
that run, I think the people that run the school boards and those kind of things, they are probably the most elite tone deaf people. That is their form
Oh, I
of
bet. Yeah.
power. That is their form of outlet. They believe they're the smartest people in the world. The people that go to go to school board meetings are also very tone deaf, and people who are like
Oh, yeah.
obsessed with that. Just get a fucking life. Like those people bug the fuck out of me. So
Yeah,
what was your are
and
there a new tone deaf? What did you say?
no, this topic is kind of a new tone deaf. I find these conversations with Maddie about like teaching and like kids, basically me being an old man saying, "Oh, kids these days," very interesting. But I think it's like something to be said because everyone's like, "Oh, kids these days are lazy, they suck." Like some of these rules are like putting them at a disadvantage in the first place. So it's like it's a real tough spot to be in and a pretty interesting conversation. But talked about that a lot over the weekend. So that was my tone deaf.
Very tone deaf topic, I would agree, especially because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
kids now are in a different point, and I always like think it's very interesting to see. We can't see now, but in the future we'll see like probably like 2035, 2040, we'll get our real test. But basically, which group of kids were affected the most during COVID? Was it elementary school? Was it
hmm
middle school? Was it high school? College, which needed those years of growth the most, and I just think that's
yeah.
very interesting. That's not tone deaf, but I think that topic is very interesting in the idea of like academics and school and teaching. So
Yeah, it's
that's
huge.
that's my view on how the kids of the youths of today are molding. Outside of tone deaf, though, what is your right side and wrong side moment for this week to wrap it up?
Right side, I talked about it a little at the beginning of the episode, but summer is back and like I am so ready for it. I was up in Wrigleyville. I live out here now. And what did I do? I was in Wrigleyville Friday night, Saturday night. I was up in Wisconsin at a lake house. Like I'm back. I'm all the way back right now. Like things are
Let's
going
go.
good. I'm excited for the new place. I'm really gonna make a point to like get outside, explore the city a little bit. Um, I'm right side right now. Not usual. I get to say that, but I'm feeling good right now. So that was my right side.
Love
Um,
that.
should I do my wrong side or do you want to do your right side
You go
first?
ahead. Do yours first. Do yours, both
Okay.
yours first.
The wrong side. Oh my god. So big weekend, as I said, was out a couple times. Finally made the long trek back to the apartment. Was gonna take one of those showers after a long weekend. That's gonna be real good. Get going. Close the bathroom door, lift my hand off the handle, and there is a big ass wasp right on the door handle where my hand was at no less than 1 second before. I free I'm hungover. I'm about to get in the shower. I freak the hell out. I'm throwing my towel at it. I'm jumping around. Like I I don't like wasps or bees. Like this I got a 3 foot by 3 foot bathroom. Like I was in a cage match out there.
You
I have
versus the
this
wasps.
mug.
Yes.
Me versus the wasp. I have this mug that holds like my toothpaste on my counter. I get out of the shower after I thought I had gotten the wasp with a towel, and it's still crawling around. It looks like it's limping. It's pretty maimed. Um, but I see it again and I'm freaking out because I thought I got it the first time and I ended up breaking the mug,
Oh my
killing the wasp.
god!
It was in pieces. So
It
sorry,
was
mom,
like a
for breaking
Looney
that
Tunes
mug. But
cartoon.
it was like I was shook up. I'm not
I
gonna
will
lie. So
say though,
the very wrong side.
wasps,
Yeah.
don't fuck with them. They stung me once when Jake was in Cooperstown and I was helping coach his team. My hand blew up and I had just an awful allergic reaction. Jake was calling me SpongeBob, like the Glove World episode. You know that? That's what my hand looked like,
Yeah.
and that was my nickname for like a few months. So yeah, fuck wasps. Get rid of
Fuck the
those guys
wasp.
if you can get them. So yeah,
I
that's
and
great.
I've been
I
like I
just
was gone yesterday.
picture
I don't know where it came from. No one's opened the door to this apartment in like 36 hours. Like,
I
are there
just love
more?
that I can picture you potentially like smashing the mug and then you just holding like just the handle like in your hand.
It wasn't that different than that visualization. Uh, but I took care of business, and I hope there's not more. I don't want to have to fight in my bathroom every single time. This,
Wow, that's an unreal story. I love that. I I fucking love that that happened like weekend one. And for listeners, I just want it known that before Joey originally told me this story, the text was, "Oh my god, I almost died." I thought like he almost got in
it
a
was
crash or something bad happened in the neighborhood. No, it was a little wasp flying around his little nine square foot
yeah.
bathroom. My right side, wrong side. Right side, very excited for this. Next weekend, going to LA, seeing Tim Robinson. I think you should leave live. I don't know
Let's
if many people
go.
are familiar with him. Very niche comedy, but I'm fucking stoked. I think Tim Robinson is hilarious. I think it's going to be a great night to go out, see some funny comedy. Netflix is doing this massive, like 2 week comedy fest. It's like Netflix is a laugh fest or whatever. Tonight
Okay, yeah.
actually is the or not Comedy Central, the Netflix Tom Brady roast is tonight.
Oh, okay.
So they're doing that. My parents this past week went to LA to see Jim Gaffigan, Jerry Seinfeld, Sebastian Maniscalco, and Nate Bargatze in one show. Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, all the big name comedians have been out there this week and next week. So I'm pretty stoked for it. It's at the Greek. Tim Robinson. I can't wait. I think he's hilarious. The voices he does in the show is
That's
just
huge. Yeah.
I can't
That
wait.
sounds
That's like something
awesome.
I'm looking forward to. So I'm looking forward to see Tim next weekend. Wrong side though, definitely was this week at work. I was trying to finish out on one client and I was getting brought back onto this other client that like had just finished filing. And it was the
Mhm.
stupidest shit where like coworkers were like, hey, can you fix this? And it took them longer to ping me. Like it was like, hey, can you fix this link? Meaning, can you copy as a link in our system and paste it in the Excel? It took longer for him to go to Teams, ping me, and ask me to do something than it took him to just go and do it. And it was just so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like he just like didn't want to do it. And like I get it. Like he's a second year, he's busier. I was on a different job now, but like wasn't necessary to do it like that way. Just copy the fucking link. Like copy the link, put it
Yeah.
in. Like I don't know.
Easy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that's like so lazy to like be like, oh, can you do this? Like it was 5 fucking seconds. Like it took me 5 seconds to do it. I was like, done. He's like, thanks. And I was like, why was this
What are
needed
you
to like
doing
tell
that's
me?
so important that you
Yeah.
you don't have 5
And
free seconds when
he's
when you're
not
looking?
signing off
Yeah.
on stuff. He's a second year, so it's not like he's doing the big stuff. Like he's doing it.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. So that was my wrong side moment. That it was just like so unnecessary and like didn't need to do that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
putting in your hours as the new guy, I
I
guess,
get it.
but
I get it.
yeah.
I'm rookie.
Get a grip.
I'm still
Yeah.
a rookie. I get it. It's my rookie season. You got to make me do the stupid shit. But like that's something where it's like, come on. It took me 5 seconds. Like, you know.
Was that a Teams ping right now?
No. Let's see.
I swear I
Oh
just
my
heard the
god, it
Teams
was. Yep,
sound.
right now.
Oh,
Let's see. What say it's at? Oh, it's our team in Manila in the Philippines telling
ugh.
us something. So got that.
I cringe.
Not
I
worried about
cringe when
me.
I hear that sound.
It's
Yeah.
actually a bottom 5 sound. So bottom 5 sound maybe. Maybe we can talk about that in another episode. That would be
Reverse
a good
Mount
one.
Rushmore of sounds.
Reverse Mount Rushmore of sounds. But that's it for this week. Thanks you guys for listening. Check out Tori's interview. Go back, listen to that if you didn't have time to do that. Thank you guys for listening. Like, subscribe, follow us, Instagram, Twitter, and for anybody listening on platforms, we're now on Podbean. Go on Podbean, follow us there, give us more of a love there. Really appreciate you guys listening. Thank you for coming.
Stay blessed.